Okay, let's start. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the AI course, CMPS 403 Artificial Intelligence. As I used to always start my lectures, if you took any class with me before, I always start with this دعاء اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Oh Allah, let us learn what would benefit us from what we learn and increase us in knowledge, and that should be our our goal or objective always, not only from this class but always from all classes or from anything that we learn. And also this should be our intention, at least this is my intention inshallah. من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة. Whoever follows a path to seek knowledge therein, Allah will make it easy for him a path to a paradise inshallah. And that's, as I said, that should be our intention. Now a bit of information about me. This is my email address, this is my location. I think you are familiar with Engineering Annex Building, BO6. I am in room 209. This is my phone number. My research interests are two. My major research interest is in the field of information retrieval, which is the field of building search engines like Google. My minor research area is big data analytics, which is the field of processing very large amount of data, like billions of tweets or millions of websites, how we can deal with them. A bit of my background. I'm Egyptian. I got my bachelor degree from University of Alexandria in 1997. I got then my master in 2001 from the same university, before I went for my PhD at University of Maryland, College Park in the US in 2002. I got it in 2009. I spent one more year there as a postdoc. If you don't know what a postdoc means it's like a temporary position where you are trained to do more research before shop for a job for a faculty position. While I was doing my PhD, I had an internship at Google in 2007. After my postdoc at Maryland, I went for another postdoc at KAUST, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Saudi Arabia in 2010. In 2011, I returned back to Egypt as a researcher in Microsoft for 1 year before I joined Qatar University as an assistant professor in 2012 and as an associate professor in 2018. Yeah. Okay. Teaching history, I taught low-level courses several times. In computer programming, I taught it 3 times, object-oriented programming, data structures twice, and discrete math 4 times. Some of you actually taught or studied discrete math with me, I think, if I remember the names. I also taught ethics courses, computer ethics twice and ethics once. I taught elective courses or high-level courses like this one, data science twice and information retrieval twice also. I also taught graduate courses, information retrieval, I think 4 times, big data analytics twice, and machine learning twice. And this class, I taught it before once, and this is the second time to teach it, inshallah, this semester. If you didn't take any courses with me before, here is my teaching style. I like interaction in class, and of course, interaction online is very, very hard. So I hope that we will be back on campus, on site very soon, inshallah, so that you will see the interaction in class, what I mean by interaction. I like to ask questions, and I like also to be asked questions, as some of you know already. I'd like to know and memorize your names. Again, it's really hard to do that online. I will try my best, inshallah. So please, whenever you answer any of my questions, mention your name, at least your first name. I like to give practical assignments and projects, and you will see that inshallah in this class that our projects will be programming assignments and will be something that that is connected somehow to what we see AI in reality. I like to learn, and I learn from every course I teach, even if I taught it before. I learn from you, I learn from the material that I teach, so I hope that you will also learn a lot, inshallah, in this course. Some of the administrative stuff will go through it quickly. You know that our lecture is on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 9. This is the room that we are supposed to be now. By the way, if you don't know B13, I think it is the library building. I don't know. It's really a bit strange, but we'll see if we will ever need it or not. I hope, inshallah. The office hour will be on Tuesday at 10. It should be in my office, but of course, for the first 2 weeks, it will be online, as you will, and you will see it scheduled on Collaborate. If that time is not good for you, then we can, of course, set a time together by appointment over email. And the best way, of course, to reach me is by email. Please come on time. Today we started a bit late because of the issues with Blackboard, but inshallah, starting next week, I hope there will be no issues, and we will start inshallah. Please mute your mics unless you are answering questions. The class page is already available. I hope that you already had a look at it. It is already available on Blackboard. You will see there everything about the course. On the syllabus, inshallah, very soon will be there. All the announcements, slides, assignments, projects, and so on will be there. So please check it periodically. Prerequisites, I think there is one prerequisite for the classes, which is data structures, which means that also you know very good programming. If you think that you are not up to programming assignments, or you are not as good in programming as you should, then you should consider your registration in this class. The class is not about programming, but it has programming assignments. Actually, the projects will be programming projects. So make sure that you are comfortable with programming, of course, which is I expect from CSC students. Basic, we need, of course, you will need basic statistics and probability. I think you already took some statistics course and probability courses. We will talk more about that on the right time. Textbook, it is the AI modern approach textbook by Russell and Norvig. It is, I think, available in the bookstore already from last year. It's a very good textbook. I think you should get it. Unfortunately, there is a 4th edition now, but there's no time to actually get it. Maybe next version, which inshallah you will not attend. But the current version that we have in the bookstore now is the 3rd edition. Now, having said that, we will not present exactly what is in the textbook. The textbook is more as a reference for you. We will not follow the order of the topics exactly as it is in the textbook. Most of it will be, but sometimes we will not have exactly what is in the textbook. About the grade distribution, we have homework. Please mute if you don't. The homework assignments will be for 15%. We will have like 4 or 5 homeworks, inshallah. Quizzes will be 15%. We'll talk about quizzes in a separate slide. Projects will be 25%. We'll also talk about projects in a separate slide. We will have 2 exams. The midterm exam will be on Sunday, October 4th, which I think in the beginning of week number 8 of the semester. It will be for 20%, and the final exam will be 25%. That's the grade distribution. About projects, as I said, you will be purely programming projects and will be all in Python. That said, I don't expect you to have any previous experience in Python. So if you don't worry. There's no problem with that because you have already experience, of course, in C++ and Java, and you can move on to Python very quickly. So the first assignment will not be graded. It's for you to learn Python quickly. Will be, inshallah, posted either today or tomorrow. It will be project number 0, which will be for you to learn Python. If you are not very familiar with Python, will get you like a jump start on Python before we actually do the real projects. The projects will be of 1 to 2 students. We'll have in a couple of minutes, we'll have some time for your questions if you have any. Quizzes, we will have like 5 to 6 quizzes, and I will drop the worst of them. So we will take, if we take 6 quizzes, I will take the best 5. And there will be no makeup quizzes. So if you miss any quiz, this will be your worst one and will be dropped automatically. So there will be no makeup quizzes for any of these 5 or 6 quizzes. The late policy, the late submissions for homeworks are not allowed. So you'll have to be strict deadline. Projects, there will be late submissions, but they will be penalized by 20% per day, and you will not be allowed to submit the project after 3 days. So maximum 3 days, 20% penalty for each day. So better not to actually be late in projects. This one, I think you saw with me if you took any class with me before, the external sources, the issue of the external sources. So Google, or maybe you can be by your friend or your colleagues or whatever, or maybe Bing instead of Google, plus Wikipedia, plus Control-C, plus Control-V, which means copy-paste, equals homework done, and you can replace also homework with projects, for example. Of course, this is a serious issue. This is called plagiarism. So this is a big warning, and I always say this, if I could have found a bigger sign, I would have put it. This is a very serious matter to me. This is an honesty problem. This is an ethical problem. This is plagiarism. This is, of course, not allowed. So what we mean by that, copying from each other or from external sources is cheating. If it happened in a small part of the homework or project, the entire homework or project will be, you will get 0 for the entire thing. Okay, so even if it's a small function in a project that you copied, you will get 0 for the entire project, even if the project has 100 functions. So please be careful with that. And both the source and the destination will get the same 0. I don't care who is the original, who owns the original answer. I don't care. Both are the same to me, and will both get 0. And this is trivial, but I have to say it explicitly. Assignments for individuals are assignments for individuals, not teams. The homework assignments will be for individuals. So whatever you submit should be your own. And projects will be for teams. So the team can work together, but for homeworks, we will talk about that. But whatever you hand in, so that's the rule actually, handed in work must be your own. Okay, so you don't copy and don't let someone read your work. Now, for homework specifically, you can discuss the homework questions or issues together. I don't mind that. You can learn from each other. So there's no problem with discussion, but don't copy, don't read someone else's work, don't memorize it, and don't ever write anything while you are discussing the issues or the homework issues with others. Okay, so the rule at the end, whatever you write should be, or whatever you submit, shouldn't be Google's work. You put your name on it, right? So putting your name on what you hand in, that means that it is your own, work, not Google's work, not Wikipedia's work, not Bing's work, not your teammate, your colleague work or your friend's work. But for projects, so that's allowed for homeworks. You can discuss together without reading, without writing, so just discussion, without memorizing. But for the projects, you can discuss, of course, the project within your team. So there's no cross team discussions. Discussions will be only within your team. And of course, if plagiarism is repeated, then result in F. And in fact, that happened. Plagiarism cases were detected or discovered in the last version of the course 1 year ago, and the consequences were really severe. So in both homeworks and projects. So please don't do that. And that's not my rule. This is the rule of our religion, our deen. من غشنا فليس منا. Okay, whoever deceives us, he or she is not one of us anymore. So that's serious, not because I'm taking it seriously, but because it's actually serious because of this. So that's really very important to keep in mind. And I will not talk about that anymore. Now I will open the door for a couple of minutes for your questions. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, raise your hand, please, so that I can see. Okay, Faisal, take the mic, please.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
This is Faisal Abu Ghazal. I took with you discrete structures.
Faisal, yes, I remember you. How are you?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Doctor, I wanted to ask about the project. Is it okay if we were 3 students?
No, I think the project is good for 2 students.
2 students only.
Yes. With 3 students, you will not benefit as much as you should. Okay. Any other questions? Ghanem? Ghanem? Go ahead.
عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
معلش الميوت كان شغال على المايك نفسه.
اوكي.
عندي سؤال بالنسبة حق البايثون لأن ما خذيته من قبل. هل حد دربنا احنا عليه ولا شو؟
Okay, I will not have special sessions for Python, but I will give you resources. I will give you tutorials to learn Python on your own in the beginning, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But that's not a programming course, of course. You have already experience in programming, so you should pick it up, inshallah, very easily. And I will try to help you as much as I can, inshallah, but not in class.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? So inshallah, I will post the first project or tutorial, inshallah, as I said, tonight or tomorrow, for you to start working on Python, inshallah, for the next week, or the next coming week. Any other questions? Muhammad?
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Saad. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Will the classroom be flipped? As in, will you upload videos?
No, the lectures will be live, inshallah.
Okay.
I wish I can, but it's really hard for me this time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions? No more questions? By the way, the lecture is recorded, and inshallah, every lecture should be recorded and will be uploaded. Of course, this one should have been recorded by Blackboard, but as you saw, Blackboard is not responding at that time. So at least I will make it, inshallah, available very soon. Any other questions? Should we move on? Everything is clear? Did you make your mind about the class? Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so today, inshallah, we will cover two things. The first one, what is AI indirectly, and you will see very soon what I mean by indirectly. Next time, inshallah, we will talk about what is AI directly and more formally. We will define it more formally. But this time, inshallah, today we'll just talk about it indirectly. And also, towards the end of the class, we will have some examples of what can AI do right now and what can't AI do right now. So we start with the first one. What is AI indirectly? And by indirectly, I mean I will talk about AI in the context of AI applications. So I will list to you, I will show you, not of course with videos, unfortunately, but just with images, what we're talking about some applications in which AI is a major component, or in other words, we can say powered by AI technology. So the first one is automated customer support. In many, and by the way, many of these applications you either used yourself or you heard about it widely as one of the applications, hot applications right now in the world. So automated customer support, what we mean by automated customer support is that you go to a website of specific service and you start to have a conversation about this service with an automated system. Maybe you don't know if it's automated system or not, but it is actually automated system that is trying to answer your questions about the service, and that's of course powered by AI. Personalized online shopping, I think you are familiar with this. If you go to an online shopping site, Amazon, you would see that after you buy something, Amazon will recommend for you other items to buy. Of course, this is based on what you already purchased and what others purchased also, and those others might be similar in, or they have common interests like you. So that's, of course, is an AI component or powered by AI. In healthcare sector, there are many applications. For example, medical diagnosis. So maybe by processing your MRI scans, it can diagnose your disease. Sometimes even robots powered by AI can help in surgeries, in surgical operations, in drug discovery, and so many actually applications in healthcare. AI now is a major component. In finance, and one of the typical examples is a prediction of the stock market. If the stock will increase or decrease very soon based on the history and based on the events that are going on. And this is a very nice and very famous example now of AI systems, which is smart cars or autonomous cars, which are driverless cars. And I think you heard about this, and actually there are now in some cities in the world autonomous cars that are on the street already. Also, drones are a very famous example now, either for surveillance or even for other applications like delivery of shipments, for example. That's of course, both of these applications are of course powered by AI. And when we talk about AI in this lecture and throughout the course, you will see that there are many different types of applications in different areas. For example, one of the areas behind autonomous cars is computer vision, which is considered a sub-area of AI. The area of my work, information retrieval, is considered a sub-area of AI. So now AI is like a big umbrella under which there are many, several research applications or development applications areas, like computer vision, like natural language processing, like robotics, sensor networks. There are so many areas now under AI, and to the extent that some of the universities now have AI departments and sometimes also AI colleges. It's kind of like what happened when CS came to exist. when computer science came to exist. If you don't know, CS was part of electrical engineering when it started, and then it came out to be its own field and its own department, or sometimes colleges. Now it is the time that AI will take place. Of course, not take place completely, but it will be by its own very soon a field, a big field, because it has so many areas underneath. Travel and navigation, of course, many of us use already navigational systems that tells you how to navigate through the roads, how to reach effectively and efficiently to your destination. And it's not only that, it's also about recommending places to visit when you travel. That's of course based on your previous travels, history, your even interests, maybe your social media posts even, if it has access to that. So that's of course all powered by AI systems. Smart home devices, many of us started already to use some of these, and these are devices at home that help us control our homes effectively and remotely. This is an area, maybe it's a bit of surprising that now AI systems can really have nice paintings or creative arts like what we see here. If I didn't tell you that this is AI powered paintings, you might be mistaken, you might be fooled that this is humans. And of course, it will get even better over time. Monitoring and surveillance, of course, not only drones that can do surveillance, regular cameras on the roads or in the malls or universities, even in corridors, can do monitoring and surveillance. Can detect objects, can detect anomalies that happens at any time, and so on. And that's, of course, all powered again by AI. Now, these were some examples of AI systems. Now, I want to hear from you, how do you define AI, or how do you see AI again, or still indirectly? So I will give you examples of applications, and you tell me, where do you see AI, if any, in these applications? So please raise your hand if you want to talk about any of these applications, or if you know the answer. So the question will be, where is AI in each of these applications? So we'll start with Google. Where do you see AI in Google? Raise your hand, please, if you want to answer. Faisal?
I think the first thing is when you search, it gives you many suggested search queries.
Okay, so this is powered by AI, of course, right? Because it tries to see what actually you mean without, or even before writing what you wanted to write. Okay, so that's kind of a smart act. Okay, anything else in search? I mean, in Google application, Saad? Saad, you're raising your hand?
I was risen from before.
Okay.
But, I mean, I can answer. It's basically, I mean, broadly, it's artificial intelligence, but I guess it's specifically,
exactly? Yeah.
Specifically neural networks. Which...
No, I'm not talking about the technology itself. I'm talking about the service. What service you think is AI, is powered by AI in Google?
Oh, when you search, right? When you...
Okay.
The query itself.
You mean getting results to the query?
Yes.
Yes, so matching the query, or trying to understand, of course, I'm not saying understanding, but trying to understand your intention behind the query, and trying to match the web pages to intention, or to that query, is of course a kind of AI, of course. And that's why I'm proud that my field, information retrieval, is behind this, and it's of course considered an AI field. What else? What else you see here in the slide? that can be powered by AI? Muhammad Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
What is powered by the AI is the second option, which is I'm feeling lucky, where you where you search whatever you want, and when you go with I'm feeling lucky option, it just takes you straight away directly to your search about whatever you were searching about. Like it chooses for you from what you wrote.
Yes.
Like from what you wrote in the search bar by using the I'm feeling lucky option, giving you like where or what search you wanted.
Okay, I would say it's a mix because I'm feeling lucky here. If you know, it actually gives you directly to the first result without looking at the result page. So it skips the result page and gives you directly the first result that Google actually finds for you. So this act by itself is not AI, but the act of finding a good first result match to your query, of course, is an AI. So that's why I'm saying it's like a mix. Okay, but thank you. Of course, it's part of it. Who else? How about this mic? Do you think there's some AI behind it? Ghanem?
Yes. No, Google has one of the. Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Google has one of the best voice recognition
Very good.
from the companies that exist, and they're very good at understanding what exactly you want and the context behind it.
Okay, so voice recognition is of course an AI powered service. Okay, so this mic, when you say your query and Google transcribe it, this is recognizing what you are saying. This is of course an AI component. Okay, thanks, Ghanem. So that's enough for Google. How about Facebook? Where do you see AI in Facebook? I need to see new faces or hands of new faces. Should I point to someone? Okay, Mahmoud. What is your last name, Mahmoud?
محمود غزالة.
Mahmoud
غزالة.
Ghazala. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Facebook in the ads and posts.
Yeah, one by one. Okay, so the ads. Why do you think there is AI in the ads?
They see what interests you, and then they show the ads that interest you.
Exactly. Okay, so they are trying to detect your preferences or your interests, and based on that, and maybe based on also the history of the posts that you interacted with, or the posts that you wrote, will give you ads on all of that. So that's of course powered by AI. Okay, thanks, Mahmoud. Who else? Muhammad. Okay, Saad, you said before. Muhammad Ahmed also before. No new hands here. Okay, Saad Iftikhar or Saad Zubair.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sir, on the timeline, it detects what type of pages we interact with and what type of content we do. So according to that, when we first open Facebook, the timeline is according to our own interests.
Yes, very good. So the order of the posts, but what this is, I think, what you mean by the timeline. The order of the posts in the timeline depends on your previous interactions and your detected interests. So that's of course an AI component in Facebook. Okay, anything else, Yusuf?
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's your last name, Yusuf?
يوسف الشهاوي.
Okay, أهلا وسهلا.
I think in friend recommendations and detecting explicit materials. that
Yes,
can
sure.
be-
Yes, these are of course two different applications. Recommendation, of course, yes. It tries to match people together, so it suggests or recommends friends to you. Blocking also content, and this is very important service, and of course it is an AI component. Okay, I think this is enough for thanks. I forgot the name now. Yusuf, thanks, Yusuf. Yes. Okay. Now we'll switch to a third one. So how about WhatsApp? Where is AI in WhatsApp? Okay, Mustafa Mahmoud, I think.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes.
Mustafa, you took a course with me before, I think.
Yes,
Okay.
discrete.
At some point, I need to see faces, and it's very boring to
Yes.
have a class without faces. Okay. Go, Mustafa.
I don't think so that we have AI in WhatsApp.
You don't think so? Okay, why?
Yes, because there's nothing like doing search or queries or something like that, just using the database. But
Okay, but
in
does it
general,
have to
there
be
is no.
queries? There's no queries in Facebook, for example, but still we have AI components, right?
Yeah, but I think there's no applications for AI in WhatsApp.
Okay, that's your opinion. Okay,
Yes.
thanks, Mustafa.
Thanks.
Who else? Okay, Ghanem, again.
I'm in agreement with my friend, but I guess the only thing they could probably use it for maybe is the security, the two-way security authentication.
Okay, I'm really okay, and you maybe I'm not 100% sure, but I'm more talking about the services that we actually see or use. I understand that, of course, security is behind that, but I want more interactive service. This is what I mean here, the service that we actually use. So maybe security is using AI to some extent. Okay, but how about the service itself, the major service?
Unfortunately, the major service is mostly basically someone sending a message, the other one receiving and then sending back. So I don't really see where AI can actually appear here.
Okay, thanks, Ghanem. Ahmed.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. What is your last name, Ahmed?
أنا محمد المري دكتور.
محمد المري. Did you hear Muhammad?
No, but I
طيب
want to.
طب خلينا بس ناخد الأول اللي رفع إيده وبعدين يعني I will get back to you. Okay? Sorry, Muhammad. I think he's raising his hand.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. What is your last name, Ahmed?
طرشون.
Okay, Ahmed Tarshun. Go ahead.
I think WhatsApp uses AI through their chatbots. How businesses use their bots to
Chatbot.
connect with clients.
Is there a chatbot in WhatsApp?
Yes, of course.
I'm not familiar with that. Where is it?
Like if you're talking, if you're like, if you have like a business or something, you can use this to like to just customer service basically.
Maybe in customer service, but again, the service itself in WhatsApp, do you see any AI there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think Nahid, you raised your hand. No. Okay, then Muhammad Al-Mari.
السلام عليكم دكتور.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Doctor, when we search about specific word in the chat and they give us similar word to the.
Okay, do you think this is smart, Muhammad? Because it's just matches your word. It's exact match. It doesn't do something like Google, for example, when it tries to understand what you are saying. It's not even Abdurrahman NLP. It's just exact match. It's like trying to find where this exact word, or yes, a regular expression, yes, where exact word appears in your messages. So I don't think this is AI, Muhammad.
Okay.
Okay, so out of that, I agree with almost all of you that it's not, there's no AI until now in the major service of WhatsApp. Okay, the next one, I will leave it to you. Think about it. So where is AI in the movie Lion King? Maybe some of you watched this. So think about it and answer it for yourself. Where is AI in Lion King? Now, in the, I think, 2 more minutes, I know that we are behind time, but we already started like 12 minutes late. So just in, inshallah, 2 or 3 minutes, I will list to you some example applications, and you tell me which of these can be done at present by AI systems. And which of these achieved already by AI and which are not. Maybe in the future will be achieved, but at least at present, they are not achieved yet. Okay, first one, play a decent game of chess. Raise your hand if you think, so this is just by raising hands now. Raise your hand if you think that AI can play a decent game of chess already now. Okay, I see many hands raised, and the answer is yes. AI now can achieve this already. And actually, there is an AI system, we'll talk about that next time, that did beat the world champion in chess. Okay, play a decent game of table tennis. And here I'm not
Sir.
saying, okay, yes, do you have a question?
Correction. I think it's what you're talking about is the open AI that was placed against the Go player. There's a game called
No,
Go.
I'm talking.
Similar
No,
to...
I'm not talking about Go. I'm talking chess.
Mm.
So chess
Because
is already one.
Yeah, I do remember that there was one that was put against a Go player, the best one in the world, and beaten him. I don't know about chess, but it was
Yeah,
pretty much the same thing.
No. Chess is much easier than Go. We'll talk about that, by the way, next time. About both, inshallah. Yes, Deep Blue, IBM Deep Blue. We'll talk about that next time. Okay, so how about table? Okay, the answer is appeared already. So here I'm not talking about beating the world champion, but having a nice back and forth game with a human. So that's done already. Okay, how about this? Drive safely along a curving mountain. Do you think this happens already? Okay, not as many as I saw when I talked about chess. But surprisingly, yes, we have this already. Because the mountain road, although it is curving, but it is controlled. It's like it's kind of a controlled environment to the most extent. So we have already, for specific, of course, roads, we have this already, not here maybe in Qatar, but internationally, we have this. Okay, how about doing similar, but along the Shamal road here in Doha? Do you think we can have a car, AI autonomous car, that can drive safely along Al Shamal road? Okay, more hands than the curving mountain road. Okay, you might think that Al Shamal road is easier, but actually it is not, because it's crowded. And when you have a crowd like that, when you have a heavy traffic, you cannot control everything. It's really hard to predict the reactions of others. So I cannot say we have this now, but maybe in some coming years we'll have something like this. It's much harder than the previous one. Okay, buy a week's worth of groceries on the web, online. So do we have now an AI system that can go shopping online? You think so? Okay, few. Wow, okay, you don't trust AI as I expected. Okay, of course, this is a very easy task for AI systems, and it can do it very easily. So we have already now systems that can shop online. Okay, now buy a week's worth of groceries at Lulu supermarket. Do you think we can have a system that is physically at Lulu and it has a list of items and it will grab them and buy them? Do you think we have this system? We wish we have it, right? Okay. Of course, we don't have this yet. We are far from that now. Okay? It's very hard to recognize the specific types of soon, I hope. I'm not sure if it's soon or not, but it's really hard to recognize the different types of fruits, vegetables, items, and bring them and grab them, and it's not easy. Okay, so we are not yet close to that. We'll try to finish very soon. Discover and prove a new mathematical theorem. This is quite not yet. The AI systems can prove theorems, but it is really hard to discover new ones. Converse successfully with another person for an hour. What do you think? Can we have an AI system that can converse or now for an hour? Discussion of an hour? Okay, that's very long discussion. We don't have this. We don't have this at all. Okay, we can maybe for a few minutes, but for an hour, that needs really deep system. Okay, perform a surgical operation. I think I kind of answered this. We have robots that can assist, but of course not fully doing surgical operation. So we are in the path. Maybe in a few years, no, if a robot can fully do a surgery, of course you will know that in advance. Now, how about translation? Maybe Chinese into spoken English in real time. We all use Google Translate, right? So Google Translate is of a very good performance now. So yes, folding the laundry and put away the dishes. Do you think we have this? Actually, we have something like this, but not fully. It's really slow, specific laundry, specific dishes. Of course, women would love that at home, or maybe men also. So all of us would love that at home, but we don't have this yet. Writing an intentionally funny story. I think this is the last one. You think we have an AI systems that can write jokes, for example, funny jokes? Who said the OpenAI GPT-3?
I did.
Okay. Sad, we are not yet there yet. Okay. Hopefully it will take some time, but we're not there yet. Okay. But that would be really interesting. There is lots of research on that, by the way, but not yet. Okay, so we will stop here. As you see, AI is starting to be everywhere. So we'll going through the course, inshallah, we'll talk about more applications. So next time we'll talk about what is AI more formally and what is this course all about, inshallah. Any questions before we leave? Sorry that I took 10 minutes more, but that's because we already started late. Any questions before I leave? Questions? Okay, then talk to you, inshallah, next time. Next time, try to be on Collaborate. I hope that it will work. If not, then don't wait for an email from me. Just as I said in the email, you should go to WebEx. You have those two links. The online sessions link will go to Collaborate, and the backup link will go to WebEx if Blackboard is not working. Okay? Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.